What up, bro cards? What up, ho cards? No disrespect to women or Winston. This is my first ever podcast video. Not a video, podcast audio. Hope you guys are as hyped as I am to be doing this. I've actually tried to make a podcast maybe 4 or 5 times. I've even done it with friends. But it ended up being just a bunch of nonsense that I didn't really care to post. So I never did. But this is the perfect time for me, at least, as someone who creates stuff, to want to make a podcast. I want to just talk about some heavy stuff that's been going on in my life and kind of just get it off my chest and get it out into the world. I'm currently here with Emily. Introduce yourself.
Hey, it's me. I'm from LA. Sounds cooler than the specific area I live in.
Don't say that specific area.
I'm from LA.
You're 22.
I'm
you 22. Have a full-time job.
I have a full-time job. I'm an essential worker.
She has a salary. Okay, anyway, enough about you. now we're gonna talk about me.
It's not interesting.
She's just here to kind of alleviate some of the whatever weight that comes from just talking about an issue like this.
I'm here for emotional support.
Yeah, this is my emotional support, Emily. Also, she's kind of witnessed a lot of this stuff unfold, so she's not going to be hearing this for the first time like you guys are, so she might be able to give input from an outside source, and that might be better in me talking about all this stuff. Okay, I also don't want to go into too many details, because with sharing anything online, this is something that's hard to share online. If any of my parents, or if either of my parents or family are watching, hello. As you guys know, I make YouTube videos, so I want to share this stuff too. This is something I want to share and get out there, even if I'm not going to go into detail. Anyways, a couple months ago in late May, my sister had an accident causing her to break her spinal cord, and it was such a severe accident that it was one part of the spine before death. It was a really crazy close call, but it was really severe at first. She got admitted into the hospital, emergency room. It was really scary. I'd literally come home and was told oh, your sister, I also am not going to say her name because I feel I'd rather not, whatever, she was doing this, and she had an accident, and now she broke her spine, and we don't know if what's going on, but it's really severe. She's in the hospital right now. So it was really tough to hear that and be wait, what? This is my reality? This is what's going on? Is she okay? What, is everyone gonna be okay? What happened? So it hits hard at first. Anyways, fast forward a little while, she's just been moving hospitals. It's really crazy to see the effect of it on my family, my brother, and just myself, seeing how I'm dealing with it. It's something really crazy to hear and just to deal with, I guess. As you guys know, or I don't know if I've made it that clear, but my parents are split, so it was crazy to even see them have to come together in certain parts and have to deal with it, even though they don't like each other anymore. It's been pretty wild. I also wanted to ask, was there a difference in me before this happened and after?
I think what seemed hard for you, from my perspective, was just seeing everyone else around you and how it affected them.
Oh, and yeah, then, okay. Even though this happened, I for sure needed a week and a half, maybe even a little bit more than that, to process all of it, because it is crazy to hear. Was she gonna walk again? But after I kind of processed it, and I'm just figuring out what's gonna be happening, what's gonna be done, what I have to do to help, what I can do to help, my next thing was okay, let me try to keep doing stuff. Let me try to keep on track. Let me try to keep making certain videos. Let me try to wrap my car still, which I did, even though this has all been going on.
You had the drop, right, that you'd been talking about?
Oh yeah, I did a whole drop.
You did the whole
this was going on.
Yeah, and then you designed your whole car wrap, and then you did the whole wrap.
Fast forward to now, my sister has finally come home, and she's out of rehabilitation and back here at my house. Everything's kind of set up to help her out, help her heal and stuff. But it's been really hectic this week that she's come back. I guess my mindset changed from me wanting to get stuff done, me needing to be there to get stuff done, me needing to do it no matter what. From that to let me just help out my sister, let me be around, let me just be helpful and here for her. Even then, I still have that innate drive in me to want to keep making videos, to want to keep making content, to want to share my life, because that's what I've been doing for the past 4 years of my life. I guess that's where this podcast episode comes in handy. But yeah, it's been really, really insane. I wouldn't want anyone to go through this. I was just talking to Emily before this podcast started. Like, you could have all the money in the world. If you had an injury like this, like, none of that money would mean anything. Like, of course, you can, like, pay for rehabilitation in certain places. You can pay for, like, state-of-the-art technology. You could pay for certain therapies. But, like, when it comes down to it, like, you still have, like, a long gap before you can even start healing. It's a gnarly injury to deal with. It's kind of weird, too, because, like, I think sometimes, like, I'll be in the future and be able to look back on it and be like, oh, like, yeah, that was a crazy moment in my life. But as I'm in it right now, it's kind of hard to, like, always just see past that. Like, you're just dealing with it every day. Also, I don't want to make it seem like, oh, this is my problem, like, oh, I'm dealing with it, because it's not even, like, my issue. Like, my sister's dealing with all this stuff way more.
You're being strong.
Yeah.
She's strong too.
Yeah, she's really strong.
She's really, really strong.
She's always been, like, someone who wanted to train and, like, work out and stuff.
No, I literally met her the day before it happened. Right? She was so nice, and, like, she just seemed like such a strong person. So, I don't know, it was crazy that of all people, like, this would happen to her. But in a way, like, I feel like she seems more equipped than most people might be.
Yeah,
because I mean, she just seems so strong.
It's crazy to, like, see, like, the network of people that have dealt with paralysis, and, like, the people that have overcome it and, like, have been able to, like, share their stories and stuff. Like, my sister's really hoping that she could overcome it and then share her story. Oh wait, something else I wanted to talk about is how, even though it was, like, really hard to post about it, like, I didn't really want to, like, share anything about it that much. My cousins had made, like, a GoFundMe that set the whole thing up, because like, they felt like that'd be a good thing to, like, make sure she had money, because, like, the whole change. So, like, yeah, like, my cousins made it, and they're like, Anthony, like, do you want to post this? And I was like, okay, sure, like, if I can help, like, I'll help out. So posted it, and it actually, like, made a huge difference. Like, a lot of people donated to it, like, that, like, follow me, even people from high school. Like, that was so touching, because, like, yeah, it's just so crazy. Like, you don't really think about, like, support you're gonna get or anything like that. But it was cool that, like, people I haven't talked to in, like, 3 years decided to, like, donate just because, like, they knew me. And that's, like, also, like, just off the story of it, like, hearing what happened. But, like, if I go into, like, the crazy stuff, like having to move herself out of her apartment, like, how sad all that stuff was, I feel like that would elicit more support. Not that I need support, but, like, it's been a lot. Like, yeah. I guess, like, the weight of it that, like, has kind of fallen on me and, like, my family is, like, can kind of alleviate as I talk about it. So, like, if I talk about, like, I think it was 3 or 4, maybe a week after, like, the whole thing went down, and, like, we kind of realized, like, she wasn't going to be able to live in her apartment that she had. Like, it was crazy, because we had to go to that apartment, like, with, like, moving trucks and, like, move everything out of her apartment. And it's just, like, wild, like, whoa, like this life here, like, with this apartment with a lot of stairs is done. Like, we got to move all this stuff out, like, move it back to, like, the, like, other house, like, package it all up, and then, like, just keep it until she gets back, and, like, until she can use it someday. Seeing my dad, like, cry, sorry if my dad's listening and, like, you don't want me to say it, but, like, yeah, to see, like, to have to move your daughter's stuff out of her apartment after, like, an accident like this, it's tough. Yeah, because maybe, like, me being able to make a podcast about it, being able to talk about something like this crazy in my life, can, like, help out someone else dealing with something crazy in their life, and, like, maybe get it out to someone at least, like, even if that's not me. It's also so weird that, like, in dealing with a tragedy in life, something I'm really conscious of is how I post. But that's because, like, it's kind of my job. Another thing I wanted to add is, even though it's tough most of the time, like, I'm still super happy that my sister's in the state she is now, and that I can still help her out. Like, I'm always so, like, excited to be able to, like, share a laugh or just, like, talk to her about stuff. Like, that's something I'm, like, really thankful to be able to do. If I can talk to her and help out in any way, like, I try to. Like, I really try to.
It's all temporary, but I feel like right now is probably the hardest.
Yeah.
Part of it. I mean, you're literally, like, not even done with week 1.
Yeah. I feel like I really just did need to get this out. Like, I've tried to film a video on it so many times already, and, like, it just is too hard to do. I'm just like, where do I even start? Like, what do I say? Like, am I coming across the right way? Like, do I look fine? But yeah, this podcast, talking, with no picture is cool.
But how do you feel like you've been dealing with everything? Like, how have you been processing everything?
That's a really good question.
question.
No, that's a really good question, actually. Yeah, so, okay, I'm going to start off, like, beginning, like,
Okay.
like, when I first heard about it. Because, I've, like, done, like, research on, like, the mourning process. And it's not, like, mourning, but it's, like, mourning, like, something that happened. Not, like, a person. Like, I've, like, done a lot of research on, like, how people react to, like, traumatic situations. I've always kind of thought, like, how would I react if something crazy happened? If someone close to me died, like, how would I react to that? When I learned my sister had this injury, I kind of felt like I dealt with it how I thought I would always deal with it. I wasn't, like, breaking down crying. I wasn't freaking out. I was kind of just, like, whoa, what the frick? Like, this is, like, what? Like, this is happening? Like, this is reality? You're telling me, like, this is actually happening right now? Like, it was, like, kind of surreal to, like, take in. But I also wasn't fighting it. This happened. Like, I have to deal with it. Like, everyone has to deal with it. Everyone has to, like, work, like, at this. And everything will be, like, okay, like, after a certain point. And then just, like, after that, I was kind of able to, like, just be at acceptance with all of it. And, like, try to help out where I can. I remember one time my grandpa had called me about something. And, after he'd gotten off the phone with me, like, mind you, I wasn't even, like, being chipper on the phone. I wasn't like, oh yeah, sure thing, like, oh cool. I was kind of just like, okay, like, oh yeah, I know, blah blah, yeah, okay, all right. And I hung up. And then I guess he had called my mom after, and my mom called me and she was like, you got off the phone with grandpa, right? And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, he was, like, surprised that you weren't, like, sounding more sad. And I was like, what do you mean? And then she was like, well, like, he was asking, like, if I know how severe everything was. And I told him that you do, and he was like, oh, why did you sound so positive? And I was like, wait, what? Like, I was just, like, did he expect me to answer crying? Like, it's sad, but, like, that's not going to help anything, crying about it. Like, being super, like, super sad. Like, for sure you have to, like, get those emotions out sometimes. But, like, they get to a point where, like, you don't really need to do that. Like, it's not helping.
That's such, like, a rational...
Yeah, that was, like, weird, though, for like, him to be like, oh, like, does he know, like, how severe it is? Like, he didn't seem sad. Like, bro, like, that's my sister. Like, how do you expect me to feel? Okay, but anyways, like, I was able to be at that point for a while. And then week 1, like, she's back. It's been crazy. Like, it's been, like, wild just to, like, be in the situation, like, where I'm helping my sister, like, after this injury, like, after all this had happened. Seeing how everyone kind of deals with it and everyone's coming together and work and help her out, like, seeing how she's doing. Yeah, like, I can see there's times, like, where it's just hard and, like, she's not, like, doing the best, and I can try to help, but, like, she'll just be like, okay, like, yeah, whatever. Those times are hard. So, yeah, overall, I think I'm able to deal with it really well in the spotlight, helping out. Like, I'm not one of those people where it's like, oh, they're not doing well, like, why are they being so weird about all this? But also, I feel like when I'm alone, like, when I'm just, like, in my room, it really, like, hits, and I'm just like, damn, like, this is crazy. I went to go to the store to go pick up some stuff, like, she wanted, like, just, like, snacks I wanted, and I'm just like, this is crazy. Like, I'm driving her car, like, she can't drive it right now, and, like, yeah, wild. Like, people are just at my, like, my family's just at my house. But it is, like, still very nice, like, to be, like, a family and, like, to be able to be there for my sister. Like, that's, like, a really positive thing that's come out of this. She's been able to bring us all together. It's at her expense, like, which sucks, but, like, it is, like, helpful, like, all together. The 2 bathrooms in my house are being, like, basically remodeled. It's really just to, like, make them accessible to her. They're being remodeled. Like, that's a cool thing.
The cause is terrible, but it's surprising just how much good has come out of it. But it's still really, really hard on everyone.
Yeah, if something severe ever happened to me, I'd hope, like, it did as much good, or, like, as much good as my sister's injury is, like, doing for everyone else. Like, everyone's, like, sad. Like, don't get me wrong, everyone's, like, dealing with it. But, like, overall, like, the positivity and good stuff that's been happening out of all this is good. This wasn't that long of a podcast, but I think I'm gonna start wrapping it up here. Is there anything else you want to add to, like, end it off?
We'll see how things progress in the weeks to come.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to kind of talk about it here, like, in this podcast episode.
It's good.
I want to get to the point, like, where I can, like, be cool just, like, making videos again, because I have so many ideas that I want to make, like, so many things I want to do. I watched a bunch of my old videos and I was like, I could have done that way better. Like, I can do this way better now.
You've been talking about so many things.
Yeah, like clothing I want to make still, but I'm just like, too focused on everything going on to do. But yeah, that's to come. Working at it. Bro cards forever. Hoe cards forever. No disrespect to women forever. No disrespect to Winston's forever. Have a good day.